Hello again, and welcome back to the Top 8 podcast. Last week, we covered the top 8 best album covers, most iconic album covers. This week, we're talking about the worst album artwork.
This should be fun.
This is going to be really fun.
There's some bad album artwork out there, and I don't know, it took me a while to find a lot of the really bad ones, but the ones I did find, they are gems.
Yeah, this was one of those ones where, once again, going through all the playlists and looking at all of the albums and just being like, which ones were really terrible? Because I don't think we really think too much about the terrible artwork until you actually see it and you go, wait a minute, yeah, this is awful.
Yeah. Sometimes it's also just like artwork from a band that I hold in really high regard that I'm like, why did you decide this?
Yeah.
Like, it's not necessarily super bad, but it's like, I don't get it for you.
I don't understand what the decision-making process was behind some of these,
Yeah.
or who the art director was, or what the situation was, but we're going to cover them.
Anyways, you're Matt. I'm TJ.
Yeah, I'm Matt Matisse. TJ.
TJ, your co-host as always.
And
let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it. What do we have at number 8?
Number 8 for me is Requiem by Korn, because what the hell?
Someone just squeezing a baby doll's head.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, the Korn always had really weird artwork to begin with. Like, I think their very first record, they're self-titled, where it's like the shadow overlooking the kid is like, it's like haunting and daunting.
It's kind of cool, yeah. Follow the leader's cool too.
Yeah, I think there's one that's kind of the Serenity of Suffering, I think it is, where it's like the kid holding the doll, looking, and there's like random shit all over the place. Mm-hmm. I almost put that one on here, but I'm like, what is this supposed to represent?
Squishies.
Doesn't make sense to me. If you know, please let me know. But this was not what I expected, and it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
So that's
It looks like a bad dead baby joke.
Yeah.
Those were popular at the time.
That's true, but like, I don't think they were trying to make that joke.
No, I don't know. They just wanted to see something that looked like it was like, what's the creepiest, darkest?
It is creepy, but it's like
thing we can do as a metal band.
Yeah, but there's like creepy, intriguing. Like, I think the Slipknot self-titled was kind of like creepy, dark, haunting, visceral in that way, but it made you intrigued to listen to it. This is like, get that shit away from me.
Yeah, go away. I don't want to look at this. This is like the
there's a line
on the cigarette label.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Number 8, I have Fall Out Boy's Mania.
Yeah, that is a weird album cover.
I don't get it.
No, just
like,
a pink room.
Yeah, it's like a pink or purple room with like a picture of a wave in it, the way that it was like Mona Lisa or something. Like, what? Okay. I don't get it. It's not that it's like horrible. There's worse out there, which is why it's number 8.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, Fall Out Boy, come on. They've got some cool artwork in the past. They've done some cool artwork in the past.
Yeah.
But what's the deal with this one?
I know. That was a weird decision. The record low-key sucked too, so that didn't help.
That definitely did not help. So that was my number 8. What do you have at number 7?
Number 7 for me is A Day to Remember's You're Welcome. And the reason I put this one here is not necessarily bad artwork, but they delayed the release of this record for a year because they were working on the artwork.
I remember this. I remember people being so upset.
And I'm like, what the hell were you working on?
Really? We had to wait a year for these songs because of that? Like, at that point, just slap ADTR in front of it, and then that's it.
I think originally it was just like a brick wall. It got like kind of leaked, and people were like, this is stupid, bring back the guy. But they've always had like the guy on the cover, like Homesick, What Separates Me From You. All of them have like a guy. So I think they tried to bring that back into this. But like the red carpet into like the portal in the sky, I just don't get it. I think that this album was very disjointed in terms of music too. So like trying to match the artwork, I guess it matches. It's disjointed album artwork. It's a disjointed album. Sorry to A Day to Remember. I love A Day to Remember.
They're like one of your favorite bands.
They are.
About them on every episode, but this is the episode where we get to touch them.
I just don't like this record. So every band's allowed to have one flop.
For me, I actually like my record that I have at number 7, but it's once again one of those records where just I don't understand.
Okay.
Billy Talent 2.
Yeah, okay.
It's just a mouth coming out of like a paper hole. I was like, what is this? Like a glory hole? Like what is happening here? You know? It's just like mouth and teeth are ugly. Like if they made it look more like a scream and it was kind of like but it was like
That's what I got from it.
I don't know. It's just like it kind of looks like a scream, but it's like a half scream. Like go all out. Like if you're gonna go into it, go all into it.
That's fair. I don't think
teethiest glory hole ever.
That's not what you want.
This episode going into an adult rating. Just because of Billy Talent.
I'm not going to be able to look at that record now and not think of that, so thank you.
I ruined Billy Talent for you.
I always liked that album artwork, to be honest. I was like, oh, screaming through. It's like, I always kind of thought of it as like they were screaming through the artwork at you.
It's just the mouth.
I know. now I can't not see it. Okay.
Number 6.
My number 6 is Foot and Mouth Disease by Gob, which is like, I don't know if you've never heard of Gob. They're like that Canadian band that I don't think really took off that much.
I don't know. They're a really
they had
big
some
Canadian
bangers.
pop punk band. Like I love their hits.
But putting this, like it's like they cut out toes from like different magazine clippings and put it behind this mouth.
And
this is just like
teeth.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like it's creepy in that you look at it, it's not intriguing. It's like, that's disgusting. Get this away from me.
At first, I think looking at it from afar, it kind of almost looks like they're like golden teeth or like, you know, silver. Like
yeah, but until you look,
they're like teeth that are all a little bit spaced out, and they've got like the gold plating on some of them, you know?
Yeah,
but
until you get closer and you're like, what the hell?
Just toes in the mouth. Ew.
So that was one of my picks.
Yeah, I think that belongs on a top 8 list for sure. Number 6, I have Alexis on Fire's Otherness. And
yeah, this was not good art.
This is one of those things where it's like, I feel like fans are a little bit separated on whether or not they think the album itself is good. I'm actually a fan of the album and the music.
The album is fine. It's not my favorite Alexis Fire music by any means.
Artwork, though, is kind of creepy, and it kind of makes me understand why people are afraid of clowns.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
You know, and it's not even a clown on there. It's like I don't know if
seductive.
it's a man or a woman.
It's like this person's trying to be seductive, but it just comes off really creepy
with like the purple lipstick and like the red eye. Like I don't get who it is, what they're trying to capture. But
I don't get what they're trying to convey. That's the thing. Yeah.
So it's like if I don't know what you're trying to convey and it's just like something creepy, then it's like, well, why is it creepy? Is there something in the album that's creepy? Are you a creepy band making creepy music? Like what's the reasoning behind it? Who is that person? What's the meaning? Because to me, I just see a creepy picture and I'm like, okay. Because like you can put a creepy picture with meaning and I'm like, oh, that's fucking great. That's brilliant.
Yeah. If it matches the vibe, aesthetic, whatever.
It just feels out of place. It feels like it's just like
it felt weird for them.
Yeah. Because they also have some really cool artwork too.
Like the Old Crows, Young Cardinals artwork, I think is great. Watch Out, I love.
Yeah. Even their first record with the switchblades.
Yeah.
You know, like the girls having a switchblade fight.
True. Okay, so my number 5 is the boys in Green Day. They've got some bad artwork.
They do indeed.
But I chose to put on Father of All because...
Oh my God.
What the hell was these decisions? This was also where Green Day did that big marketing campaign, like, no Swedish producers, hardcore rock music. Did you see like all this when this album?
Oh, why not Swedish producers?
Because they're like, I think it's supposed to be a dig at people like getting people to like make beats for them, like ghostwriting type situation.
Oh.
But they went hard on this and it just turned out super cringy. And this, I just don't get it. Like, why the unicorn throwing up a rainbow? And then it has like the American Idiot artwork at the back with all this on top of it. I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. It looks like a child made that.
Weird decisions. I think they were just trying to be edgy and it just did not come off well at all.
It kind of looks like something I would have made in communications technology in grade 11.
Yeah, 100%. They're like covering up the motherfuckers part of this too, which they don't even list that on like Spotify either because the album's Father of All Motherfuckers, but they don't actually put that listed anywhere. I just don't like why? Why, Green Day? Why? What you got at 5?
Number 5, I have Jimmy Eat World Clarity. I don't know if this is like a hot take or what, but it's like 4 random pictures of like I don't even know what they are. It's just like 4 random pictures put into a collage. And then look, I get it. It was the 90s, and that's what album artwork looked like for a lot of albums. But like, I don't. Is it supposed to be like the elements or something? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
like,
trying to like. It kind of looks they're all water related.
What's
So
I-
like maybe like refractions through
maybe
the
I'm
water.
missing something, and I'm just not the biggest Jimmy Eat World fan. Like
Also-
I like Jimmy Eat World, but I'm not deep into their lore.
Yeah.
So like
I could not tell you no.
I don't know, but I don't get it when I look at it, and that's essentially it.
Yep. No, that's very fair.
I feel like this whole episode is just gonna be my dumbass saying, "I don't get it. No, I don't get it." What?
Okay,
Anyway.
my number 4
Mm-hmm.
is one of my favorite vocalists that I like had an affinity for growing up. Part of one of my favorite bands, but he did solo music and it's really bad. And it's Corey motherfucking Taylor. Specifically,
what is that?
specifically-
what are all these Microsoft Paint albums?
dude, Corey motherfucking Taylor 2, CMFT 2. It basically is just like a bunch of mannequins with like different Slipknot outfits and then other random stuff that he's worn in the past. But like just the pink background, these are just like poorly placed on top of it. It's bad.
It looks like Corey Taylor was learning how to use Photoshop.
He's like, I'm going to handle all the creative decisions of this project. And he shouldn't
It's
have.
just like, oh look, I figured out how to remove background and copy and paste. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. We're just
Exactly.
gonna stack them.
So this is pretty bad. Honestly, lost some respect for Corey as a musician, but I still love Slipknot. But the solo music is bad.
You don't like the solo music either?
No, it's bad. Sorry to people who enjoy it, but not a fan.
Number 4 for me is funny because it was on last week's episode as
Okay,
the most iconic.
love that.
And I honestly think that this album is one of the most iconic albums. It is the most like one of the most iconic pieces of artwork. Like,
Oh, yeah.
but it's terrible. Nirvana's Nevermind.
Yeah.
Nirvana's one of my favorite bands. Okay, I grew up on it. Nevermind's one of my favorite albums of all time. But once again, we mentioned this last week.
If you haven't heard it, go
Some-
listen to it.
Yeah, if there's something about a naked baby that should not be put on display. And it does make me feel weird as an adult displaying that record while it's spinning because
Yeah.
it's like you walk into my living room and it's like, oh, cool, you've got a picture of a naked baby on your, and you know what I mean? Like
Like,
there's
I think
something awkward about that, even though everyone knows it's Nirvana.
I was gonna say it's
Nevermind.
iconic enough where you're not gonna get questioned about it, but like it does make you feel some kind of way.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like I don't want to stare at this album anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's awkward,
For sure.
you know. But yeah, that's why I think that it can be iconic and one of the worst.
Yeah.
Like artwork.
It's iconic for being controversial and kind of bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of cheated on number 3.
Okay.
I have a 3A and a 3B because Limp Bizkit has some terrible artwork.
Okay.
So 3A is going to be the chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water. It's literally a bunch of hot dogs, these weird gremlin creatures, and starfishes as assholes.
Yeah, this one's like weird on purpose.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously intentional to be like, you know what the crazy thing is? This album has gone something like double, or no, it's more than, it's like 10 times platinum or some crazy shit with that artwork attached to it.
Amazing.
That's insane.
It's amazing.
My 3B is their Cobra, or what is it? Gold Cobra. Because the eyes are not even drawn properly. Like, who approved this?
Do you ever wonder if the reason why people hated Limp Bizkit so much back in the day and they got so much flack is because their album artwork sucked?
Maybe they were just like that provocative, like just trying to stir the pot that much. But this is bad.
Never judge a band by their artwork.
Yeah, for real. Honestly, Chocolate Starfish is like one of my favorite new metal albums of all time.
But that
The
artwork.
artwork sucks.
Number 3 for me, I've got Taking Back Sunday's self-titled album.
Yeah.
It looks to me as if it's like a woman who doesn't care that she's drowning while on the Titanic and someone's just like painting her under the water.
These like lines and whatever, really, have you ever watched Interstellar?
Yeah.
Where they go into that, like, where he like goes into the black hole and it's at that weird like dimension.
Yeah.
I'm getting that kind of vibe from like the squares and like all the.
I'm getting women drowning on the Titanic.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
Like, right? Like, are you not getting that?
100%.
She's just like floating.
But like looking up, like, yeah, this is fine.
Like, I don't know. And I love Taking Back Sunday, but this is like a weird. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
I don't get that one. Either.
don't get it.
Maybe we're just not like
We're just not artsy
knowledgeable
fartsy
enough to
people.
get
Yeah, I
this.
don't know. What do you have at number 2?
My number 2 and my number 1, objectively terrible. There's no denying it. My number 2 is Weathered by Creed.
Oh, this one's great. I love this one.
2001, you can't blame them. Photoshop, like, I assume, had to have just come out. I'm sure it's been around for longer, but like whoever
We're in
they
Microsoft
hired,
Paint territory here.
for real, like them just like cropping out the faces, going transparent matte over the tree. It's bad, man. This is bad.
Amazing. This is one of those things where it's so bad it's good, you know?
It represents the 2000s, like
Yeah.
the early 2000s.
It represents Creed pretty well. Creed's fucking terrible. And I know that Creed's having like their moment right now, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I love Creed." You know, it's the same thing as like, "Oh, it was cool to hate Nickelback, but we all love Nickelback." And now
Nickelback
everyone's
has some
like,
bad artwork too.
yeah. Now everyone's like, "Oh, I know it's cool to hate Creed, but like it's cool to love him now. We love Creed." I'm just like, no, Creed. Call me a hater. I don't give a shit. Creed sucks.
They have some like, objectively big songs, like
Higher in with Arms Wide Open.
Yeah,
They have 2
that's it.
fucking songs. That's
Exactly,
it. The rest
yes.
of it is rah, rah, rah.
I know.
You know, it's terrible.
I
And
don't
the
know how
artwork
they
is
got
terrible.
big. I don't know how they got big.
I don't know either. What's your number? Oh wait, it would be my turn for number 1.
Number
Oh,
2.
number 2.
Yeah.
Rise Against, Appeal to Reason.
You don't like that, eh?
I love the album. One of my favorite albums. I love Rise Against. Grew up on them. One of my favorite punk bands. Like,
Yeah.
But that artwork, once again, we're in Microsoft Paint territory.
It's copy paste a lot of different
It looks like they just took a whole bunch of random like
assets and
clips from
Yeah.
magazines and scanned them into their computer and pasted them into Microsoft Paint.
That's fair.
All these albums look like children made them.
that's true.
So that was the same thing with Rise Against. It looks like a child made it on Microsoft Paint. I made this between MSN conversations with my crush in the 8th grade. Like that's who made this album artwork.
That's fair. I don't think I've ever really like looked at it that much to be like, whoa, this is not good or this is fine. But like I know what it looks like. I can picture it. I just
Yeah.
like I don't think I've ever like cared enough about it to really think about it in that much detail.
I don't know. I was just like looking through my playlist, but it's just
Yeah.
all like clippings and like put into Microsoft Paint.
That's fair.
I could have made this.
Cutting
while
off the umbilical cord, I never even noticed that before.
Yeah, I actually made this exact same cover art while getting dumped on MSN.
Okay, my number 1 is a string of bad artwork from the same artist,
Creed.
Corey Feldman. Well, if you haven't listened to his music, it's terrible. If you haven't seen his artwork, it's even worse.
This is the guy, like the 80s actor, right?
Yeah, he was in like the Goonies and
Like
a bunch of
Lost Boy or
I think he was in
something like
Stand
that.
By Me, but his music is bad.
I didn't even know he had music.
Yeah. No, the only reason I know this is I was watching an episode of the Punk Rock NBA. Shout out to Finn McKenty. He mentioned something about like one of his albums, and then I remembered it when we planned to do this. I was like, I got to go back. And I was like, oh, this is easily my number 1. And he has a bunch of single art too, which is also terrible. So this one, Comeback King,
Oh my god, this is amazing.
he just took a picture of himself on a throne. So that's fine. Not even posed well. This features Snoop Dogg. You know that meme of like the emo kid?
Oh my god, that's amazing.
That's that. What are the legs there?
And then
for?
even the Go For It.
Go For It.
kind of reminds me of like the Punk Goes Crunk.
Yes, that's exactly the aesthetic here. 100%. Which honestly, that could have probably been on here too.
The Punk Goes Crunk album, yeah, that's an honorable mention for that one.
This one, Rockin' Revolution, which just gives me, I don't know, not good vibes.
No,
And then
this looks like Where Were You on Jan 6th?
the magnum opus, this is his actual album art. So all of these were single artworks, I think, for this album.
Yeah,
Angelic to the Core.
amazing.
Dude,
I need to listen to this album now.
he was just like, let's get 2 blonde women in lingerie, pulling me out of, I assume, hell,
yeah.
which is also coming out of the pavement. Oh boy, it's bad.
This album looks like it was made in Microsoft Paint.
Oh, easily.
Oh my
Like the
goodness.
little ribbon banner. Everything about this is bad.
Yeah,
It's not even
but
on
this song is,
Spotify.
like literally so bad that it's good territory. Like, you know when like movies are so bad that they're good that they grow like
Yeah.
a cult following. Like this is so bad it's good. Like I want to print out these posters and put them on my wall.
That's fair. I might do that for your birthday. Angelic to the core. Big
for my
big
wedding.
banner. Yeah. Do you think Karen would like that as a wedding gift?
She would kill you. I think she would burst out and it would not go anywhere. It would immediately go into the garbage.
Burned.
Yeah. My number one
Yeah.
is actually a band that you talked about already, but it's a different album.
Okay.
Green Day.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to guess which album?
Uno Dos Tres was all terrible artwork.
Green Day's had a lot of really bad.
Revolution Radio is just like a radio on fire. It's boring. It just like seems too on the nose for the name.
21st Century Breakdown. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one looks here like it's a High School Musical poster.
Yeah, okay.
Like this is something that you would see in the hallways. Like that one kid that was really talented at graphic design and like communications technology. He made this poster, put it up in the hallways. Like Thursday night, we're doing, whatever. Like, and it's like when
The big dance.
Yeah. When I see this album artwork, I think it's going to be the Glee soundtrack.
Actually, yeah. That
That's what I
does
think.
that
I
does
think of
give that
Glee.
vibe.
Like, I
Wow.
don't think it's Green Day. It's going to be a bunch of 14-year-olds singing about a fucking hall pass or some shit like that. And it's not an adult hall pass. It's like, I need a hall pass to go use
to
the washroom.
Like
That's what those are the vibes that I get from this album.
To be fair, the music in that album was also very like immature. Like they were not in their bag on that record. So it kind of matches the bad artwork.
Yeah. So that's the top 8 for both of us. And I guess we got to come up with a top 8 list of the most terrible. I feel like, could we just make it a top 16?
I was going to say, you know what?
Terrible.
For this one, why don't we just say every single one of these albums loses? There's no top. There's no
winning
top
in this
8.
one.
We've shared our piece about all of them. Well, I know there's so much more bad artwork out there, though.
And I like so much that could be memed as well. And like,
Yeah.
nobody thinks about it. It's hard to think about this because you don't really see so much of this. But what is that one little, I guess, nugget of bad artwork that you've seen or that you know of or that really bothers you that maybe we haven't mentioned before?
Definitely.
Like, I want to hear that in the comments. Let us know in the little part on Spotify. Who has the worst album artwork?
Yeah. If you're listening on Spotify, please consider leaving us 5 stars if you like what you hear and you want to hear more. Apple Music as well. I always forget that exists, but
Apple
it
Music,
does.
leave us a review, and we'll see you next week. Stole your line.
Every time.